folks, over a Skid Row apartment yesterday where 3 people were found dead of suspected drug overdoses, potentially from Trank, which is a drug that includes fentanyl. In response, LA City Councilwoman Traci Park urging action against street drugs, calling for better coordination between first responders, health authorities, and communities. Councilwoman Traci Park joining us live now with more. Good to see you, Councilwoman. We know this particular incident is not your district. It's Kevin De Leon's district. He hasn't come on here for a very long time, and we know why. Why are you specifically interested on this particular incident, and what do you want to see happen?
You know, I'm concerned about this incident because this is just the first of incidents that are going to come. You know, Trank and ISO and some other extremely deadly street drugs have begun making their appearances in the United States over the last couple of years. And as they have traveled west, I have become increasingly concerned about what the impact on our local communities was going to be when they arrived here. Just a couple of weeks ago, I submitted a motion in City Council to seek better collaboration between the County Public Health Department and the first responder community to get some protocols in place so that we would be prepared when this happened. And that day is now upon us.
Yeah, and speaking of the motion that you just did introduce, that's really about, if I understand it correctly, prioritizing worker safety for those first responders who do, in fact, respond to these drug-related calls. So noting that, how would that motion, would it have affected the outcome as to what we saw near Skid Row yesterday?
So that's really just a first step in beginning the process of understanding the nature of the problem and the need to have collaboration in place between public health departments, our law enforcement agencies, as well as a public education and information campaign so that local communities and families and parents can be aware of what is actually in the drugs on our streets. I also am extremely concerned about our first responders and the folks that are being exposed to this potentially as part of their jobs. You know, with fentanyl and how deadly it is, we've seen the impacts on folks that are around that interact with this every day. And these are drugs that are 25 to 50 times more potent than fentanyl and non-responsive to Narcan. So I have concerns about this from a lot of different levels, and my motion was just a first step in beginning the very important dialogue that we need to have around this issue.
Those stats are very scary. Council member, maybe move a little bit this other direction, if you don't mind. There you go. Okay, that makes everybody feel better. Live TV, still doing the Zoom thing. Let's talk about the issue of homelessness more broadly, which is something we've talked about with you a lot here. It's the main reason that you ran. It was the main issue in the campaign. You got a big problem in your district, big problem in the whole city. And it's not easy to make change. It takes a while. But there are some residents who say change isn't happening fast enough. Even at our station here, which is part of your district, there's a homeless encampment a couple blocks that way. There's another one a couple blocks that way. There's another one down the street. We've seen some improvement in one of them, but still a whole lot of problems. What do you say to people that say, we need to see more change faster?
Yeah, you know, I hear the frustration on this. And, you know, the hard reality is, you know, in the 110 days or so that it's been since I took office, you know, I didn't overnight have more interim and permanent housing solutions come online. I didn't get 30 mental health workers from the county. And we have thousands of folks who are living on the streets. I am incredibly proud of the work that we did in a very short amount of time. We have housed over 150 people just here on the west side in my district. But the reality is, you know, our interim housing interventions are full at this point. And so unless and until we can start moving folks through those and into permanent housing, you know, we're going to continue to struggle with this. I am going to advocate and lobby for as many new interim solutions as we can. We've got to be innovative and fast in our approach to this. And I am hopeful that with the mayor's emergency declaration and her executive directives, we're going to see some of that housing production and those emergency interventions coming online much sooner. But the reality is, with 40,000 people living on the streets in our city, it is going to take time for us to solve this problem.
Well, you are just starting your 4th month in office, as you noted, 110 days. So we'll be watching, and we appreciate you taking the time out tonight to join us here at 6 o'clock. Councilmember Traci Park, the 11th District here in the city of Los Angeles. Thank you.
Always nice to see you. Thanks for having me.
Great to see you.